Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the G7 and Biden and Zelenskyy and an agreement, and then a couple other pieces of news dealing with Ukraine. Okay, so what's the big news? Is that Biden and Zelenskyy are expected, in fact, by the time y'all watch this, it's probably already happened. They're expected to sign an agreement. It will be a 10-year security agreement. This means the U.S. is going to help with training, intelligence sharing, procurement of equipment, all kinds of things for the next 10 years. It's a bridge until Ukraine can join NATO. Okay. Geopolitically, this is another signal to Putin saying, hey, the West is not going to abandon Ukraine. One thing to note about this is that this is an executive agreement, not a treaty. It is not a treaty. It is not law of the land. It is an executive agreement, making it a lot like an executive order. So, what you have here is something that would really matter to Ukraine. If Biden is not reelected, it's kind of pointless though. Because realistically, Trump will undo it. Trump will undo it. The benefit of it not being a treaty is that it doesn't have to go through Congress and get past those who are rooting for Putin. But if Biden isn't reelected, it is doubtful that any of this will be in effect by the time that occurs. So it would most likely be undone. So that's something to keep in mind as people talk about this agreement and refer to it as a treaty, which is already happening. It's not a treaty. It is like a treaty, but it didn't go through Congress, which means any future president can undo it. Okay, another piece of news. It looks like Ukraine is going to get a $50 billion loan from the G7, and that will be backed up by frozen Russian assets. And then the last one is a question. It says, can you explain what's happening with the S-400s? Can they not intercept missiles like the Patriot? Okay, so just to provide some context here, S-400s are advanced Russian air defense systems. They have been getting hit a lot over the last few days. So, can they not intercept missiles? I mean, the funny answer is they absolutely intercept missiles. They just use a very different technique than the Patriot. The real answer is they are obviously not doing well at that at the moment. I think the subtext of this question is why. With everything going on, why is their focus on the S-400s? I would suggest that if you were about to get a bunch of airplanes, taking out the opposition's air defense would be a high priority. And that's why they're doing it. So that, and it is, these systems are not cheap. I mean, I know there's going to be jokes about that. Let me rephrase that. These systems cost a lot of money. Whether or not they are cheap, I guess, is subjective. They cost a lot of money. So each one lost is a big hit economically to Russia. So that's what's going on. But my guess is this has to do with the idea that Ukraine may be operating in the skies a little bit more. And they're kind of shaping the battlefield for that. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.